These dishes just aren't getting clean.
Problem isn't your machine. It's likely your detergent. I recommend switching to Cascade Platinum Plus. These new pods dissolve completely and have Dawn, breaking down up to 100% of tough stuck-on foods. Cascade Platinum Plus.
So what are you thinking?
I'm thinking about our honeymoon. What about Africa? Safari, swim with elephants, hot air balloon, lions growling in the giraffes that come in through your window.
Wait, can we afford a safari? Great question. Like everything, takes a little planning.
Or put the money towards a down payment.
With enough room for a baby?
Babies.
Baby.
Let's take a look at those scenarios.
JP Morgan Wealth Management has advisors in Chase branches and tools like Wealth Plan to help keep you on track. When you're planning for it all, the answer is JP Morgan Wealth Management.
UCLA students protesting today over a proposal that would increase tuition and decrease financial aid. Thanks for joining us for the KTLA 5 News at Noon. I'm Glenn Walker.
And I'm Lou Parker. The Board of Regents is currently meeting in Westwood ahead of that vote.
And dozens of students are in that meeting. KTLA 5's Chris Wolf live now on the UCLA campus with more on the protest. Chris?
Hey, Glenn and Lou and everybody, fireworks have been flying over these proposed tuition hikes and financial aid reductions at all 9 UC campuses, including, of course, UCLA right here in Westwood. The governing board of the UC system, the University of California Regents, is meeting as we speak and expected to take a vote on the matter in just about 30 minutes. Opponents of the plan say it would make education inaccessible to and unaffordable for countless people trying to enter the UC system. Quote, higher education is for everyone. When tuition goes up, it hurts low-income, middle-class, and first-generation scholars. That's from the UC Student Association. When tuition increased back in 2021, the Tuition Stability Plan was created to lock in tuition costs for undergraduates from the time they enrolled until the time they graduated or left the UC system. Under the new policy, tuition rates would not be fixed and financial aid contributions would be reduced from 45% to 40%. UC officials issued a statement saying the change would not affect its overall mission to help low and middle income families pay for college. As we said, the University of California Regents is the governing board of the UC system. Members say they're now facing financial uncertainty amid funding cuts from the Trump administration, a significant reduction in state funding, and growing inflation. Students are outraged and concerned nonetheless.
These forever yearly tuition hikes implemented in 2021 have led to today's UC students paying 19% more higher tuition than students did 4 years ago. That's nearly 3 times the increase in tuition over the decade prior.
There is heightened security on campus in light of this highly charged subject matter involving potential tuition hikes at UC campuses. Supporters of the proposal say the university system would be able to count on regular, modest increases that are tied to inflation. Again, a vote on this proposal is expected sometime around 12:30 this afternoon. We will continue to follow this developing story throughout the day. Live in Westwood, Chris Wolf, KTLA 5 News.
Chris, thank you. A bill ordering the Justice Department to release all of its case files tied to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein is now headed to the president's desk for his signature. Last night on Capitol Hill, Epstein's survivors cheered after both chambers of Congress nearly unanimously approved the legislation. For weeks, President Trump tried to persuade members of his own party not to support that measure, but ultimately too many lawmakers had decided to vote in favor, and the president dropped his opposition. Now, once the bill is signed, the Department of Justice has 30 days to release all of its documents on Epstein.
The LA County District Attorney says that he is going after scammers who are filing bogus claims of sex abuse.
If you want to try and rip off Los Angeles County, if you want to go and rip off sex abuse survivors, you will be arrested, you will be prosecuted, and you will be punished.
Earlier this year, LA County announced a more than $4 billion in settlement money to resolve sex abuse claims. Last month, the LA Times published a report that alleges the downtown LA law group was paying plaintiffs to take part in sex abuse lawsuits and in some cases fabricated their stories. The law firm denies the allegations and insists it acted legally and ethically. The LA County Board of Supervisors then directed the DA's office to investigate potential fraud involving sex abuse claims.
Turning to developing news in Van Nuys, investigators still on scene of a deadly crash. This happening on Satacoy Street and Kester Avenue around 12:45 this morning. The LAPD says the driver of a Scion was speeding when it collided with a Prius. The driver of the Prius died at the scene. The driver of the other vehicle was taken to the hospital. The intersection is expected to remain closed for the duration of that investigation.
We're learning more about the man accused of killing an Orange County boy in a hit-and-run DUI crash. KTLA 5's Orange County Bureau Chief Chip Yost live now with more on the man who has a history of driving under the influence. Chip?
Yeah, hello there, Glenn and Lou. Yes, the suspect in this case is an admitted and convicted drunk driver. We've been going through some of the files from his previous cases in court. He has 2 previous DUI convictions where he admits what he did, and also the court makes clear what the consequences could be for him if he's ever arrested for DUI again in a case where he kills someone. Let's take a look at some of these court documents, though. In the court documents, he admits to driving drunk in 2 different cases in July of 2020. In one of the cases, that one also involved a hit and run. He admits to hitting 2 cars before fleeing the scene. He was also in both cases given what's known as a Watson advisement. That's an advisement that says if you're ever arrested for DUI in a future case, now that you have this conviction on your record and you kill someone in that future case, you could be charged with murder. And then there's also a MAD compliance form. He actually had to attend an online course put on by Mothers Against Drunk Driving, in which he acknowledged he took that course and acknowledged what the consequences for drunk driving could be. There's also a Watson advisement on that form as well. Let's show you some video from the scene and show you what he is now accused of. This is the scene from yesterday in Dana Point around 8:18 in the morning. A 13-year-old boy on the way to school sitting or standing on one of those traffic islands where you press a crosswalk button and wait to cross the street. He and his older brother were on that island when sheriff's deputies say Bradley Funk, the man we've been talking about, this defendant in this case, drove his pickup truck on the curb onto that traffic island those boys were on, struck and killed the 13-year-old boy. The boy was later pronounced dead. Let's talk about that boy that was killed. Here's a picture of him, 13-year-old Luis Pacheco Morales. Or Morales Pacheco, excuse me. He was a student at a middle school down in the area near Dana Point, near where that happened. His friends held a vigil for him last night near the scene and had this to say about it.
He always spread a smile to everyone. Luis is like a super kind person, and he was like, everybody had a smile on his face. Like when I had a bad day, I always laughed at him because he was super funny.
Now, it turns out that Bradley Funk, the defendant in this case, was still on probation when that incident yesterday happened. He's going to have a hearing on his probation case, a probation violation hearing tomorrow, and also the district attorney, the case is in the hands of the district attorney right now, and we're expecting to hear about charges filed against him sometime soon. For now, reporting here in Santa Ana, I'm Chip Yost, KTLA 5 News.
Chip, thank you. Some San Fernando Valley residents are protesting an LA City plan for an impounded RV parking lot.
It would take over a park and ride lot outside the Sepulveda Basin recreation area. KTLA 5's Omar Lewis is in Lake Balboa with the details. Omar.
Hi there, Glenn and Lou. We're here at Victory and Balboa Boulevards, where this park and ride lot could soon become a storage lot for RVs. As you mentioned, neighbors in this community, they want city leaders to rethink this plan and find a different location. However, city leaders say this lot is necessary to clean up the surrounding neighborhoods in this area. Want to take you to the video and show you as these residents and neighbors were out here in Lake Balboa this morning. They were with signs demanding the city keep this lot for commuters instead of storing RVs towed from encampments, especially with schools and thousands of students nearby. They say the Balboa Park and Ride lot has long been a key link for Valley commuters, and they're worried about safety, traffic, and the environment. Under a proposed lease with Metro, the city of LA would pay about $350,000 a year through 2027 to turn this 94,000 square foot lot into storage for roughly 100 to 125 impounded RVs at a time. With fencing, security, and cameras, city leaders say no one will be living on the lot, and it's meant to get uninhabitable RVs off neighborhood streets. But parents and neighborhood leaders say placing an RV yard here at this location near schools, homes, and the LA River is not a good idea.
The community supports the idea of getting abandoned and salvaged vehicles off the street. What we are concerned about is this particular location. There's high school across the street with 6,000 students. It's not zoned for this. We have environmental concerns.
On Laurel Canyon, there's 61 acres. It's zoned for salvage vehicles.
Okay.
It belongs there. It doesn't belong at the entrance to the park.
LA City Council member Imelda Padilla, who represents this area, released a statement that reads in part, my office is working closely with LAPD, Metro, and our partner agencies to ensure that any activity at this site is managed safely, responsibly, and in full compliance with all regulations, including those that prevent runoff and other environmental impacts. This is one tool among many that we are using to reduce the impacts of abandoned and occupied RVs across the district. We also received a statement from LA Mayor Karen Bass's office saying that she's also addressing these concerns from community members. We'll have that for you in our next hour of news. But also want to let you know that later today, these community members will be back out here rallying again. As for that proposal, it is now in an LA City Council committee for further review. That is the latest here live today from Lake Balboa. I'm Omar Lewis. Glenn and Lou, we'll send it back to you.
All right. Thank you, Omar. Nice to see the sunshine.
It was such a gorgeous morning. You know, we always talk about it when the rains come, it clears everything out and that nice cool temps, but not for long though, Kai Goldberg.
No. We got round 3 coming to Southern California by tomorrow midday. Very similar.